I'll get the comments. Are we live? Are you everybody? Say hi if you can see us. Hello, everybody.
I can see you.
If anyone's in the comments, make sure you say hi. Doesn't say anyone's watching. I don't know whether
it always takes like a minute to catch up with itself.
So we'll give it a little minute. How are you anyway, Kier? You can talk to us whilst we wait for anybody to come along, if they're going to come along. I don't know if they will be. Oh, it's got 5 people. Yes,
it is very, very rainy here today. So I was just like running through the rain trying to get home.
Oh, bless you.
It's supposed to be warm and sunny, but it's not this time of year.
Oh.
And whereabouts are you based, Kier?
Canada, Southern Ontario.
Ah, yeah. Over there.
In the warm
Ontario is like the one place in Canada. Like, there's very few places in the world I visited, but I've visited Canada and I visited Ontario. I don't know exactly whereabouts I've been.
You're near Toronto or Ottawa? I
think we went to Ottawa, actually.
Okay, that's where I'm from. I'm now near Toronto. It's like a 5-6 hour difference.
Okay, yeah. We drove like all over Canada, like a little bit of not all over Canada because Canada's massive. That's not true.
Yes.
We drove around that area. Nice. That's a whole other conversation. You don't need to know about that. We've got some commenters, so I'll just put them on the screen. We've got hi Jack. Hi Jane.
Hi Jane.
Hello.
Edinburgh.
It's raining in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is a very rainy place.
Yeah. Is it? Let us know. Hi Kate.
So
we love Kate. Kate's one of our regulars.
We do.
And hey Jennifer.
Hi Jennifer.
Right. So we shall put. I'm trying to get to your actual banner here because I've got. Scroll because I've got so many banners. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is going to be a shit show today.
You're so much more technological able to do it in the first place. I'm just like, what?
No. Oh, hello. We've got Kit coming there as well. Oh, sorry. Just popping to say hi. Got to clean it. Oh, that's fine. Of course. No worries. Hey, Kit.
Yeah. The
chaos
hour. Chaos hour.
It's raining in Edinburgh. Oh, bless you. You poor thing. Right, here we go. Scroll my banners. I'm not doing well with the scrolling today. This is just going to be how we're just going to have to work with.
It's fine. It's like a bank holiday Sunday. So
I've just deleted one of my banners.
What holiday is it?
Sorry?
What holiday is it?
May Day.
Okay.
May Day, yeah. First Monday of every May, we have a bank holiday. So
and it's and the next Mondays we've got one because of the King, obviously.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say we have like our May holiday is the third week. It's like Victoria Day weekend here.
Oh, we have 2. So we have one at the end of the month as well. So we've got 3 this month because we've got the coronation as well. So it's basically we're all just working part-time in May.
Holidays every Monday. It's all the holidays.
Yeah,
so anyway, welcome to Kier, everybody. Everybody say hi to Kier. We've got the lovely Kier, aka Kier the Scrivener from Kier's channel. So how are you today? We started this before, but lots of people were not. Everyone was here. How are you, Kier?
I am good. It's early in the day here. It's raining, but I'm happy to be here.
What time is it over there then?
It's not that early. It was 12:30. But I've been at church since like 8 a.m. and then I was like running back. So I was like,
how are you, Alice?
Yeah, good. It's nice and sunny here in the south of the UK. So enjoying the first sunshine I've seen this year, really.
Yeah.
Nice.
How about you, Jem? How are you, Jem?
Yes, all good. Took Charlie to the cinema for the first time today. And luckily he wasn't a nightmare. So, yeah. But Carl did fall asleep. My husband fell asleep.
That's okay. It's the cinema. It's sleepy. What did you go to see?
Mario Brothers.
Nice. I've heard lots of good things about it. Is there a funny song? Because my friend sent me the song. Is it the Peach song? I Love Peach. Is it I Love Peach?
Yeah.
I heard it was by Jack Black.
Yeah, Jack Black song. That's it.
It was fine. It's not really my kind of humour. It's a bit too obvious.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll just quickly head to the comments again, and then we'll get
Not
on to
dry and sarcastic enough.
Exactly.
Oh, bless. I still want to see it though, because I'm like, I don't know, maybe we'll wait.
No,
for
it was fun. It was fun. The boys loved it. But
I think what's the new one? There's a show that one at the cinema my husband wants to see that's come out. Is it one of the
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians of the Galaxy? That's it. Well done, Kier.
I was like,
That's
I'm
one.
excited. I'm a Marvel fan, so
Yeah, so that's why we're excited. I want to try and go to the cinema with my husband to see that. So yeah.
nice.
So we've got Jack said love Edinburgh.
yes, agree.
Definitely. Yeah, I've not
I've
been
never
to
been.
neither have I. I want to go to Edinburgh.
It's on my
Hello
bucket
from
list.
Switzerland. Oh, hello Elizabeth from Switzerland. Everyone say hello to Elizabeth. May Day is a pagan hangover, right?
Yeah, and Jim was asking me about this today, and I said I think it might be pagan.
Jack knows so much. Like I feel like she's like the font of all knowledge. I just love Jack.
She
She's
is.
amazing.
She knows so many different things.
Just saying, oh hi Glenda. Oh no worries.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
on grandma duty. Enjoy.
And Emily. Hi
Hi, Ems.
Emily.
Emily. Love you. Right. So yeah. So the very first question. So we get on to asking you the first question, which is what was your last 5-star read by a woman? I don't know.
Yeah, Ducks by Kate Beaton. So she's a Canadian author. We talked a little bit because we were talking about ducks and fish, but I really enjoyed it. It's a graphic memoir. She is famous for other works, but I haven't read her work. But I really like it because it's set like 2005 to 2008 in Canada. And I remember this part of history very like familiar, where like there was a huge oil boom and everyone was going out, and she is an art student and she's like, well, I don't have any money, so I'm gonna go pay off my student loans there. And she just ends up being like 1 to 100 guys, and it's a lot about like sexual harassment. And my heater is coming on and I'm going to turn that off so it's not loud in the background. But yeah, it's just really about like sexual harassment and the ways in which like you're in a really bad toxic situation. And I found it like really relatable, and like I've known a lot of people who spent a lot of time in the oil sands and it was not good. So I was like, it feels very Canadian and very like representative of being a woman in the workforce in a male dominated place. So
And that won a prize recently, didn't it?
yeah, it won Canada Reads, which is a prize in Canada that I don't understand because they use backlisted books, which I don't really understand how they do it. It's more of like a competition, like our Giller Prize and our Governor General's Awards are the more like prestigious one, I guess. But Canada Reads is good. I just don't understand it.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Book prize.
Yeah, Station 11 was in there as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I'm never
And that's from
confused.
ages ago.
Yeah, like 10 years ago or 9 at least. So I'm just like, I don't know why they pick as they do. But they get Canadian celebrities to back a book, and then they do like a competition and stuff like that on the CBC.
Yeah, I saw Jolene do quite a lot of content around it, and I do want to read Ducks. It sounds really interesting because I work in a male-dominated industry as well, so I think that'd be really interesting to read it. Not quite that male-dominated, but
No, I worked in kitchens though, starting at like 17, and like the waitresses come in, but like when you're working like cooks, they're all dudes and they're terrible.
yeah. Yeah.
So it does sound good. Is it still on Scribd as well? It was on Scribd.
Yeah. I've had the right teeny tiny though.
Oh yeah.
I read it on my phone through my library, and I really enjoyed it. Like I could zoom in and stuff on the panels.
I can't zoom in on Scribd. So
Okay.
I was
That's
like,
why I just like my iPad. I just
Because
like
on
my
Libby you can. I'm always zooming in on Libby
Yeah.
to read
Yeah.
graphic novels.
Yeah, I got it on Libby.
Oh, bless you. I'll head to some comments. We've got hi Brian from Beckett. Hi Brian. Ooh, I think I saw Ducks over on Lindy's channel. Graphic Man, yeah.
Another
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. See, she always knows everything. Maybe mixing it up, yeah. Hi, Anne.
Hi.
Hi. Home from a beer festival.
Oh, a beer festival. Nice.
Nice.
That sounds lush. Obviously, is Jack saying hi to Anne as well? I don't know to highlight that. Hi, ladies. I have you all on speaker while you get your household chores done. That's good. Get some jobs done. How are you today, Kelly, as well? How are all of you watching today? Let us know how you are. Are you enjoying the sunshine? Or is it still rainy like poor Kier? Yeah, we've got Kate. I'm going to see The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry later on in the week. Yeah, that's why by Rachel Joyce, isn't it? No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got Jim Broadbent in it, hasn't it?
I've got it on my Kindle.
I've heard of it.
I haven't read it
you
yet.
have.
Of course
And I do think it is starring Jim Broadbent. I think you're right, Alice.
Yeah.
That is
Saw
one
an
I do.
advert for it.
I've read one of the other ones by Rachel Joyce. It was
Miss Benson's Beetle.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that was really fun.
I've got that on my Kindle as well.
And your Kindle is. I really want to see all the books on your Kindle, Jen.
It's like a full-on library at this point.
That's so cool. And we've got Zach W. Parker. Canada has the highest per capita rating with France. They both read 17 books. Okay, wow.
Didn't know that.
That's good. It's always good to know. Well, thank you, Zach. Thank you very much. So you're right. Shall we get on to asking you the pizza question? Is that
I'm afraid of this question. I have controversial opinions, and I think that I have some of them.
Well, we want to hear them. Are we going to? Is this going to be where we boot you off? Because we haven't booted anyone off for a little while, have we? I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'm going to make Gemma upset because I really like pineapple on pizza. I really don't like pepperoni. And growing up, the only kind of pizza you can get if you don't want pepperoni is Hawaiian. So Hawaiian has always been my go-to.
So, okay. So it was bad enough that you said you do like pineapple, but then to say you don't like pepperoni?
Where is it coming from? It doesn't look like normal meat.
That's what makes it so good.
Actually true.
That's what makes
I'm scared of hot dogs too, like all of that. I'm like, this does not look like the consistency of meat. But I'm also, probably also more scandalously, I don't like cheese. So my childhood was you rip the cheese off. No. You go on the underside of the cheese, you take all the ham and pineapple off, and then you put it back on, and then your siblings fight over it. And then when you go to college and you start offering cheese to people look at you like you're a maniac, and you're like, peel cheese off your things and give it to random people.
Yeah, what even is that if you don't have cheese? That's more like
very
bruschetta.
Yes, bruschetta, tomato.
Yeah. Now I'm really like bacon, onions, mushrooms, and stuff like that. Like if I can choose what to put on my pizza. But if I'm like ordering a plain pizza or like a pizza everyone would want to be Hawaiian.
Is it any specific cheese? Is it all cheese you don't like, or is it just like mozzarella and all that?
Every cheese. So like my entire childhood, I like threw up at cheese and eggs, and then by the time that I was in my late teens, I started reacting to all milk. So.
Oh no, that's not nice then. I don't blame you.
I miss ice cream so badly.
No, I don't get on with ice cream.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's another pineapple fan. Here we go. Let's show these other like team pineapple.
So start up Team Pineapple again.
That's controversial about it. Like it's just a good fruit, and it like adds a nice different tang to the pizza.
Pineapple
adds a nice tang to a dessert.
It doesn't belong on pizza.
I taught myself how to cook and put apples in like a bunch of my food too. So people like spaghetti sauce, like everything. Like I think that we shouldn't designate all of these fruits and vegetables. So yeah.
No, they have their places in life and they need to stay there.
They are artificial qualities that we have added.
We've also got. I knew we had another team pineapple. Yeah, class. You guys can sense each other. You just seriously. I haven't been keeping my tabs. I should have brought my score sheet out for the pineapple thing to see how many more we've got. Like in terms of more pineapple.
I think everyone has liked pineapple.
No, I think that can't be. No. Because there was someone last week. Who was someone we loved last week? Who did we? I'm forgetting all the guests now. I'm so sorry, everybody. Who did we have this week?
Who did we have last week? I've lost.
We had a guest. No, it wasn't
Camilla.
this week.
Camilla.
It was Sunday. Who was
normal stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, Camilla was anti-pineapple, and so was Eric. But Eric did suggest figs, so
that put him like way at the bottom of the pile.
I have not tried that, but I would.
That's always a good thing because I'm never going to say anything bad about him. I love Emily. There we go. Saying that you can't have fruit on savoury food is like saying you can't have salted caramel, just plain wrong.
Which is the best kind of flavour, salted caramel.
I will go with salted caramel. That is nice.
And I like salt and sweet popcorn. So
Yeah, I did eat
salted
that.
and sweet popcorn is good.
Yeah. Salt just goes with everything, though.
we're storming through the chats today. So before we so do you want to ask about, what are we going to ask about? What you've how are you getting on with the Women's Prize? Actually, should we ask? Yeah, what have you read so far from the Women's Prize? That's a good question.
Mostly books that aren't on the short list.
Okay, that's okay. You can still tell us.
9, and I think I DNF'd Memphis, so I think my tiny little coat. I have read The Marriage Portrait and The Marriage Portrait. Why am I blanking on books now?
I feel like I'm blanking in general.
I have not read Black Butterflies, Demon Copperhead, Pod. I have read the other 3.
So that's you read the rest of them.
Yes, I don't. Oh no, I haven't read Fire Rush either. Fire Rush, Black Butterflies, and Pod aren't published in Canada. So I think I read The Marriage Portrait, and
Oh, you must be so sad that Pod isn't published there yet.
yeah, I thought about spending good hard money on shipping it from the UK, but it just didn't seem like a right choice.
No.
Can you get stuff on Kindle, or can you just not?
Well, I think I can get things through the UK websites, but I can't get anything through a Canadian publisher because they can't. Like, I have to order it from, UK.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm sad about Black Butterflies because Black Butterflies is one of the ones that I've liked since the beginning, or like wanted to read since the beginning, and it's shortlisted. Yeah, and then it's.
I do think that would be one that you actually like if you can get hold of it.
Yeah, I really love this. Like, Wandering Souls was my favorite. So, and I really liked Stone Blind. I really liked Bandit Queens. I liked The Marriage Portrait. I didn't want to see it on the short list because I wanted some debut authors on it, but
that's fair enough. That's good.
Yeah.
Good shout.
But I just got Demon Copperhead from the library. I've been waiting for months, and then Fire Rush I still have like 12 weeks on. So I'm really hoping that push out. I'm not sure how like.
I said that's exciting. Exciting that you've got Demon Copperhead.
Yes. It's 21 hours though, so I'm like
21 hours of joy and misery.
Yes, I read David Copperfield just in October, so it's very in my mind. I didn't love it. Like I don't know. I felt very middling about it. Do they have like weird? I felt the representation of women in it especially bad. I'm hoping that that's kind of solved in a modern version. He's like very much like, she's my angel and she's my demon and she's the one that I have to like. It's just really weird, angelical.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah, I didn't pick up on any of that. I haven't read David Copperfield, but
lots of people do say that.
Yeah.
You've read quite a lot of Charles Dickens, haven't you, Alice?
No, I haven't actually. He's one of the ones I own, like all of his books, but I've only read A Tale of Two Cities, A Christmas Carol, and now David Copperfield. I just own a bunch of them. I'm just always looking at them being like they're really big.
Alice, you've read quite a few Charles Dickens, haven't you?
Not that many. I've read Bleak House, Our Mutual Friend, and David Copperfield, and Great Expectations, and Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fair amount.
And I've got Dombey and Son and Oliver Twist on my bookshelf, but I haven't read them.
That's all right. I don't think you need to worry about that anyway. Yeah. No, it's a good book though. I think it's collectively, I think Demon Copperhead is the favourite from the three of us, I think, collectively.
Mm-hmm. I think that I feel like it's so beloved that like I feel like rejection of it, I guess. Like, I don't know. Which is probably something that I shouldn't feel because I know that it's probably a really good book. But you know when everything's like a good book, but like you just want to see other books like be supported. So like I felt that way. I don't know. So I need to resolve it. I'll probably like read it because I kind of also felt that way toward The Marriage Portrait, and then I read The Marriage Portrait, and I really liked it. So yeah, I'll probably be redeemed once I start. But I'm like kind of suspicious of it now.
No, bless you. Especially when, like you said, like when books get loads of hype, it does kind of put you off a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm hoping I'll really like.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So girlies, how has your reading been this week? With things with the Women's Prize. Have you read any more Women's Prize books since the last time I spoke to you guys?
I actually don't think I have, because I was sort of having a big spurt of reading the last few books that I could before the announcement. I finished Wandering Souls just before the announcement, and then I haven't started any of the other ones. So I've only got 4 left from the long list,
Mhm.
2 of which are on the short list. So
Nice.
I will start them, but so I've got Out of the Library, Trespasses, and Homesick, and I still want to get to Homesick. It's one of the ones that I've got a feeling, like, I know a lot of people haven't loved it, but like there's a couple of things in it that I feel like I'm going to relate to, so I want to read it.
I hope you love it.
Yeah.
Sarah from Your True Self loved it, I think. So
Yeah, I think she quite liked it. Yeah.
how about you, Jem? How are you getting on?
Yeah, I haven't read much more since
Yeah.
last week's plods. So I started Memphis, didn't I? Because I did after Curse Bread, and I think I've read one more chapter. I've been trying to catch up on some buddy reads and stuff this week that I've been ignoring. Not Crime and Punishment. Not Crime and
I was going to say, I bet you haven't
All
caught
the
up on
other
Crime and
ones.
Punishment.
I did read one chapter of it yesterday.
I know, you can't read more chapters, you'll pull ahead of me.
Yeah, mate, it was like 15 pages. I'm sure you'll be fine.
No, I haven't read it in weeks.
Let us know in the comments how are you guys getting on with your Women's Prize reading. Have you read anything new since the last time we were on here? Have you found any new favourites? Or you can even tell us about any other books you're enjoying as well, because we want to hear everything, don't we? Have a good old natter.
Yes.
So you said, where were you? You said after Demon Copperhead, where did you say you were going to head next to?
Fire Rush, but like, yeah, so Trespasses, that's the one that I was blanking out of my mind.
Oh yeah.
So I have 4 technically left. So I have Fire Rush, Demon Copperhead, Pod, and Black Butterflies. So I don't think I'm going to get to Black Butterflies or Pod at all. So I think after, and I have 10 weeks to wait on Fire Rush. So I'm really hoping it will get like pushed ahead and I'll get it in before the announcement and stuff. Because I feel like Black Butterflies might be the one that I'm like gunning for a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I did that with Meliamida for the Booker Prize because it was published in January here. And I was like, I want it to win. I know I've read like a lot of the other books, but I haven't read this one. So I think that's the book that like, yeah, I'll want.
Have you read that yet either?
I'm 3 weeks away now. On the
hold. I really hope you guys.
It had such huge hold. So I like January, whatever it published here, I like booked it, and then it was like 16 weeks, and I was like, okay, I'm waiting.
And this is the audiobook or the physical book?
The audiobook.
This is just for the audio. Right, okay. There are things I'll have to message you about to do with the audiobook because it's really long chapters. So just be aware of that going in, because I feel like it's almost hard. I would feel like the audiobook's maybe slightly harder. You'd have to commit maybe more bigger blocks of time to it.
Yeah.
But it's still really, really good. The audiobook's still really good, but I just feel like maybe a little bit more work. I like listening to it because obviously I'd already read it. So
yeah.
I'll have a look at some of the comments. Here we go. We've got Jack says, super excited to purchase Demon Copperhead this week. Yay! Or did you get the hardcover?
I think she got the paperback.
No, I think she got a ebook of it.
Okay. Well, let us know what you've got, Jack. The audiobook for Pod is no longer available in the US. Ooh,
anywhere or just on like Scribd? Because I heard like they were taking them off to sell more things.
Yeah. That happened to one of the other ones on Scribd, didn't you say, Jem?
That happened to a load of the ones that were on for the International Booker. There were a few on there from the International Booker, and they all got pulled, which was annoying.
Yeah.
But
that is annoying.
What can you do? She
yeah.
says, knowing that I've got like 200 books marked on Scribd that I could read.
I'm glad I'm reading. Yeah, I think that's the right way to do it. I definitely think read Demon Copperhead before you read David Copperfield.
It's like when you watch an adaptation. Like I always prefer to watch adaptations and then read the book because then I get more of the story rather than be angry at losing the story. I feel like that's always the better way.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a good shout. We've got I DNF'd. Oh, did I miss Jennifer? Sorry, Jennifer. I'm a fan. I finished I'm a Fan. It's one of my favorite books of the year. Yay!
Yay.
Ooh.
That's one I was really, really excited for. I was going to order it if it made the shortlist because it's out here in August. And I'm like, okay, I can't justify it. It'll be out in August anyways.
I think it could be because this could be listed for the book, couldn't it? Yeah, I'm a Fan.
Yeah. That would be cool because no one is talking about this was listed for both, right? And
I don't know dates-wise whether it fits. Does it fit? Anyone who's in the comments, do you know if it fits? Does I'm a Fan fit for dates for Booker?
I don't know.
I think it came out in 2023. Like, it definitely wasn't out last summer, and it goes from September to September, right?
Yeah, it does. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. It's good that you found a favorite. Like, it's a very divisive book, but yeah. Oh, some of the comments have jumped a bit. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna have to try and scroll up again. Oh, I don't like it when that happens.
Oh, I think it was published on the 1st of June 2022.
I was going to say, I think it was out last year.
Oh, so that means it might not be eligible then.
No, it won't be eligible.
I've got you got the ebook of have I missed any of the comments? I'm gonna have to try and scroll up. Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. I haven't missed that many. It's fine. So yes, you've got the ebook. Well done. That's cool. Oh, did Jennifer, I DNF'd. I'm a fan. Why did you love it? I'm always want to know what I may be missing. Yeah, I think it. Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's a style thing, right? More than anything. Like, it sounds like a very divisive book. So it's like you're not missing something. You just don't appreciate that storytelling.
And it is very unlikable because I still felt very mixed, like quite a lot of the way through it. At the very beginning bit, I was like, oh my God, I love it, love it, love it. And then I was like, oh no, I hate it. And then I still feel very torn by it. There's a fly in my
Yeah.
So yeah. We've got Mark says, not Women's Prize related, but this week I finished Great Expectations. I love that book. The Corset. Is that by?
It's really good.
Who's that by?
Oh, I've got it somewhere.
What's that woman's name?
Purcell? Is it Laura Purcell?
Yeah,
Yes,
Laura
that's
Purcell.
right. Song of Achilles, all 5-star reads from me. Yes.
Hey, what a good week.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And still getting over Song of Achilles. Yeah, I love that book. So I've had this conversation. I love this book. Right, here we go. Katie reads books. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
I've DNF'd pod. We don't blame you. This is a safe space here. But finished I'm a Fan and Stone Blind, neither of which I enjoyed. That's okay. That's fine. I'm also reading Crime and Punishment over 6 weeks, and it needs a slow pace to fully digest, I think. So you guys can comment on that if you've read it.
Yeah, we're going at a slow pace.
We're already in 5 weeks, so we haven't hit halfway.
It's been 5 weeks.
Well, nearly, hasn't it? We started on the 1st.
How many pages does it have?
Like
It's only about 500.
Yeah.
7,000.
Yeah, I think it's like
No, 500.
I think my copy is 650, my e-copy.
It might be 600.
Very small writing.
I have got it in my pile here, so I'm going to read it today. Ta-da!
No, that's your copy of Crime and Punishment. Right. So we've got, I'm enjoying Wandering Souls and The Colour of Magic. Oh yeah, Wandering Souls is amazing. Kier loved that one, didn't you? That's your like.
Oh, like that is one of my favorite. Is like my top book of the year so far. I really love it. Like, and I love the meta fiction of it and stuff. Like, I am outraged that it like did not make the short list. I know you guys didn't all love it, but yeah,
that's okay.
I didn't love it, but I loved the author bit. That's like my favorite thing about it, and the first person perspective that there was sort of throughout, and the way all the sort of research was in there as well, like the real life stuff. I really did like that idea, and that's that way that was done.
Well, and I don't know if you guys read, like, I read an article by her before I even read it, which is she was talking about, like, they're very similar to Julia in the novel. She doesn't know any of the thing. Her mother did not tell her anything about her past.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the author herself, like, researched a bunch of the stuff about Vietnam and then, like, got more information and stuff, like, from her mother and eventually. And I think that, like, it's such a cool story of, like, how, like, trauma lives in our lives and stuff like that. And yet we can't say it. And I feel like that's why you sometimes feel detached from, like, Anne, because she's talking about how she can't, like, talk to her brothers about this because she has to be the strong one. She can't talk about her family about this one because, like, they don't understand the same degree and stuff like that. And it's like a story of very much isolation. And then it's cool because as time goes on, you see the beginnings of that starting to break. And I think that that story itself is like a celebration of that. So
yeah, I thought it was beautiful. I loved it so much. I'm so gutted that it didn't make the shortlist, but
it could make the Booker. I don't know, it probably won't, but it could make the Booker.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether it will. I feel like that's a whole other conversation about which books we think could be.
We're getting into Booker hype territory already.
Yeah, we'll all go and start that. So should we head on to the
oh yes,
the portion of I don't know, have you seen? I'm sure you have.
Yeah, are you gonna make me say all of the women? I was like, I cheated in things, but yeah.
So this is for those of you that are watching that don't know, this is the portion where we get our guest they've got to list, they've got 30 seconds to list as many books that have been long listed from the Women's Prize over the history of the prize. You don't have to say, again, I'll reiterate, you don't have to say the name of the author. You just have to say the name of the book. You've got 30 seconds, and obviously the girls will lead it.
What
with
does the score I have to beat?
Oh yes, scores to beat. Oh yeah, Jem, do you want to get the leaderboard out?
So
Sorry.
Jennifer's the winning at the moment with 22, and then we've got Camilla on 19 and Shelley on 17.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think I'll do that well, but
Honestly,
am I on timer, Alice, or are you on timer? Who's on timer?
You do timer. I've got my
Good
paper.
there you go.
I feel my heart feels nervous.
So I count of 5 if you're ready. Let me know. Are you ready for me to start counting to the count of 5?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Transcendent Kingdom, Hamnet, Marriage Portrait, Lacuna, Demon Copperhead, Wandering Souls, Children of Paradise, Normal People, Exciting Times, Ordinary People, what are other books?
You've got like 2 minutes on there. Are we giving her?
Yeah, I accidentally put 1 minute 30 instead of 30, and then it was too late to stop it. So
Margaret Atwood books that had been shortlisted. I was like, nope.
You did really well. Round of applause for Kier. Everyone say because that was really, really good.
Good.
What did I get?
I'm not quite certain. It always goes too fast for me. I think it might have been 11, but I need to check in the plod.
I did just start saying quick things, and I was saying a bunch of books from like 2017 too. I think because I'd like looked at that list recently.
You have done that was really good. Honestly, you did really, really well. You're definitely not at the bottom. You're doing. You held strong. You did really well. I'll just do some comments and then we'll go to the reading plot. Because Kieran's here. That's what just put in my head. So right, we've got Jennifer said, "How much did you read? I just thought it was brilliant, insightful, and confronting. It's good that you found a favourite. I'm enjoying one." Just I said that already. Sorry. Son of Achilles, so good. Yeah, definitely. Kate, are you a fellow Pratchett fan? These are important things to know because Jack is an aficionado on Terry Pratchett. I think that's fair to say. Just checked, can't buy Pod on Audible or anywhere else that I'm aware of.
They know it's right, and they are trying to keep it from people.
Yes, oh deal. I hope that you find it soon. So that's strange that maybe some licensing issue. Yeah, that could be true. And then we've got the lovely Kieran. Oi, lads. And Kieran, for those of you watching, will be here on Tuesday night. Obviously, I'll say this at the end of the show, but Kieran will be here on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. BST. So yeah, that's exciting.
I think this is the first time Kieran said something in our chat that isn't just the word pod.
Pod.
Or a pod pun.
Pod.
I did want to say I've been reading the Carol Shields Prize, which is the women's prize for Canada, United States that just started. And I was really, really nervous because there's a book called What We Fed the Manticore by an author on there. And it's from animal perspectives. And I was like, I don't want to read this. I'm only reading it because it's on the prize. And I actually really liked it. I was really, really shocked. It was a short story, so you don't live in it for a really long time.
What is that? I want to write it down.
What We Fed the Manticore.
What We Fed the Manticore.
Yeah, by Talia Laxmi Kaluri, I think is her name. Yeah, it's very surprising, and it deals a lot with like overhunting and stuff like that. But the stories are short, or like what it means. Like you have like backgrounds of like war coming on and how it feels like for animals in zoos and stuff. And all of them are quite short, so you don't like feel like it feels natural enough that you're not like, okay, this is too like human or something like that.
That does sound good.
We've just had a little comment that says, "I love What We Fed the Manticore. So good." Oh, that's really good. Thank you, Ariane. Sorry, I can't speak. I told you. Sorry. So that's really cool. So do you guys want to head into doing some reading? And before we do that, obviously, you guys have got to tell us what you're reading. We'll start with the lovely Kier. What book are you heading to?
I was just thinking, I do have Demon Copperhead, so maybe I will start that, and then I can give my thoughts about the first few chapters.
That'd be great.
How about you, Jem? What are you going to be heading to?
I'm going to be cracking on with some Memphis.
Oh, that's good.
Are you liking it?
Well, I'm only like 3 chapters in, so but I do quite like it. It's definitely my style of book, and it's like split timeline, isn't it? Which I quite like. But I'm not far enough in yet to have formed a solid opinion, I would say.
How about you, Alice? What are you heading to?
So I'm going to rebel at first because it is the last day of April and I really, really want to finish one more thing that's on my giant TBR so that everything balances out well.
Crime and Punishment.
So I'm finishing
Crime and Punishment.
lovely graphic novel, The Baker Street 4.
I remember when you bought those. You bought them on this year, didn't you? In the second hand.
Yeah, I bought them when I went to Bath in March, and I'm on volume 4 now. But I've done like the thing that I never ever do, and not worried about the fact that I didn't have volume 2. So I've read volume 1, then volume 3, then volume 4.
That's okay.
And it really doesn't sit well with me.
You understand,
they
like
are
you're missing.
They are separate stories, so it's kind of okay. Like all 3 of the ones I've read seem to have like 2 different stories in them. So I don't know if it was originally like smaller comics and then it's been collected or something. But I didn't really like the first one, so I thought, I'll read the other 2 quickly and then I might sell them on eBay or something, get my money back. But actually, I really, really liked 3, and this one's really good too. So I might keep them and buy number 2.
That's good.
Or just get rid of 1 and keep 3 and 4.
Yeah, they do keep referencing what happened in book 2. So obviously was something big and exciting because it's been referenced a few times. So I'm like, I'm missing out.
That's
So I'm going to finish that first, and then
you can
I'll
just
go on to
reread them.
Trespasses.
And then you're going to head on to Trespasses. Have you got any thoughts on that? You haven't literally started that yet, have you?
Haven't started it.
Okay, that's fine. I'll say what I'm
I've
reading.
only put a bookmark in it because I've got a Trespasses bookmark.
I'm jealous. Well, that looks amazing. I'm reading Marmaid by Jessica George. This is one of my anticipated releases for the year. I got this when I was book shopping with the girlies. So yeah, I'm excited to read this.
Have you started it?
I haven't started it. I was going to start it today because I literally finished all my books yesterday, and then today has been family time, which obviously this is what we're here for. But yeah, I'll quickly click on some comments before we head to the plod, the reading plod. Obviously, we've got, speaking of plod.
Hey!
I think he's reading Pod now because he hadn't read it previously.
He could be. He very well could be. We will be finding out on Tuesday, Kier. So, we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we've got Brian says, I'm afraid my gunbait is going to be terrible. I'm reading Fire Rush. Ooh.
Nice.
Then we've got Jack said, that does sound good. I love an animal narrator. I don't know what the rest of you guys are like, but yeah, like I know you just said that, but yeah, I'm not always keen on an animal narrator. But
have you not read The Art of Racing in the Rain? Because that will change your mind.
For that exactly.
My heart.
Is this another book I've got to write down? You have to message me later with it.
Write it down now.
That's all I need to know.
The Art of Racing in the Rain.
Yeah, and Charlotte's Web, Animal Narrators. Very good book.
Awesome.
Animal and I think Glory are the only 2 books I think I've ever read from. Like,
so what was the one you said about the something in the rain?
The Art of Racing in the Rain.
Yeah, by Garth Stein. It's really good. Okay. And to be fair, Animal Farm is good as well.
I love Animal Farm.
I've read that as well, but I did like that, but that's like very, very short and very. But so we've got Alice, you threw down the gauntlet, and Kieran has responded.
Pop, pop, pop.
I would expect no less.
Zach is reading The Fire Dance by Helene Tursten.
Not heard of that
Jack,
one.
I'll be reading Jamie by L.D. Lipinski. Yeah, I really want to read this really soon. This is like really high on my thing. So. Or I may start Jude.
Oh, Rebel.
Because again, for those of you that don't know, but you must all know, Jem is hosting Misery May, which obviously begins tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? It begins
tomorrow.
We've got I Love Marmee.
Crying all month.
Oh, that's so good to hear that you loved Marmee. That's in Have I read Pod?
No.
I'm gonna say you started it or DNF'd it. I'm gonna say you started DNF'd. Or,
I think me and Jem have got a lot of money on Kieran has not read Pod.
Yeah.
It's good to base your entire personality on something that you have not read or consumed in any way.
Yeah. That sounds like a Kieran thing to do, though, right?
Yeah. That is completely true. It was at 30%. I DNF'd. I'm a fan, Jennifer. I did it. I did. Yeah, so short as Jem. So say yeah, that's all right. You're fine. I haven't even been to any beer festivals, and I can never read and write things normally. So you're fine. Right. So I will put the timer on, add to stream, and we shall go to a 20-minute reading sprint, and then get back and talk to you guys in a bit. So everyone, mute yourselves. Here we go.
Hello. You're muted.
Oh, I didn't realise I was still muted. Right, okay. So, yes, I've just seen that Kieran's written. I'm just going to say this. So you didn't all see. I literally, I clicked on it. So I clicked on his video. I've clicked on his video and I've watched the first 2 minutes. He is, in fact, reading Pod. I saw a physical copy of Pod. I didn't watch the whole video, Kieran. I didn't watch the whole video, but
I think he actually said he's read Pod because I saw that comment as well, and I was checking Kier's score at the time, and so I checked it out, and it's waiting to be reviewed. So I think he has read it.
He's read it. Well, I know because I knew it wasn't in last month's wrap up because I watched his wrap up, which was that yesterday that came out or the day before, and it wasn't.
I'm so far behind on BookTube.
I knew it wasn't in that. So.
I don't really watch things within the first 5 hours of them being posted because I also
Yeah,
agree.
How did you guys get on reading? So I'll start with you, Kier, because you're the guest.
I don't like this book so far.
Oh no!
No.
I find the narrative voice. I also don't really like first person narration. Like I'm, when we're thinking of like Wandering Souls, like over the head, like looking down, like that is my vibe. I know like people don't like large ensemble casts. That's what I love. So I'm finding it very frustrating. It's also making me really emotional because like I love Peggotty and like a lot of the characters from David Copperfield. So it's making me remember how much I like the original and not liking them in comparison. So obviously I will still start, but in regards to the beginning, I was like, I probably would DNF this if it was not for the Women's Prize. It hasn't really caught me, and I don't like the narrative voice. Like I don't know, I don't like. It feels very like glib, and then also just like I don't know, like not angry at the world, but there's just like a certain kind of writing that's just like I'm gonna talk about like junkies and random like it just feels very like like language and stuff like that. I don't know. Not that like we should talk about trauma, but I want to talk about trauma in a way that's not like I guess.
That's fair. We're all allowed to like different things, aren't we?
I know you guys all love it, so
Yeah.
I like first person narratives though. That's I think.
Yeah, I love first person.
I really don't.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get on with it then.
That was my main complaint. I was looking at my review for David Copperfield, and my main complaint was that I wish it was more on the ensemble cast because I love the ensemble cast, but I don't really love David as a character. Was my main thing.
Have you read the Pickwick Papers? Because that's got quite a lot of different people in it.
No, I haven't. But that's why I love classic literature. Like, I feel like because like I don't love first person like really close unless they're like almost intoxicating. Like books like Lester and what I imagine like I'm a fan and stuff like that. That's very focused in on like how we intimately relate to other characters. Like I really need books to be very character center and like relational central. That's what I love.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I think you would love Our Mutual Friend. It's such a massive cast of characters, but it's so good.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. I know we need to know where I go to Dickens next.
Alice, how did you get on with your reading?
Yeah, all right. Apart from getting distracted by Kieran's video and counting up the scores. So I like not that anyone probably cares about this book because it's not anything to do with the Women's Prize. But it's randomly, like in the middle of it, it's gone to like proper long pages of text, which is why it was taking me a little while longer. But it's quite interesting because it's like they've already like wrapped up like quite a major storyline in the graphic novel, and then there's like quite an interesting section about it's sort of a bit factual about Victorian London.
Oh, that's good.
And like got a map and everything. So kind of like I suppose I do know these things about Victorian London because I have read Sherlock Holmes, but also like a whole profile on Sherlock Holmes and on Watson. But really interestingly, it's also got like the full biography of one of the four of the Baker Street Four. And I think after another comic story that I've just gone on to, there's going to be more about the other two in the Baker Street Four because one of the four is a cat. So
there you go.
It's probably not going to be a biography on the cat.
Hey, person-centered or animal-centered stories.
How did you get on, Jem?
Yeah, good. I'm still quite enjoying it. So, yeah, it's an interesting start to the novel, because you sort of start with like this sort of hinted at trauma, but then it goes right back to like the how the mother effectively met her husband, and so it's really interesting to see like the dynamic and how, because you sort of know what's coming, or you do know what's coming, so it's interesting to like go back and see how it got to that. So yeah, I really like it.
I did
Strikes me as a very Gemma book.
Yeah.
No, I really liked that section. Like I had more like I DNF'd it, but I just like was not in a place where I wanted to deal with a bunch of trauma. But because it feels kind of similar to what I'm saying, where it's just like it doesn't really like discuss the trauma. It's just like, and here's the trauma. But I really liked the parts of the flashback with her meeting her husband in like the army and stuff. I was like, oh, that's really
yeah. So yeah, still early days, but at the moment it's well written.
I like the family dynamics, like the sisterly dynamic in it. I remember that's one of the things I feel like I remember. I don't know whether I do remember because it feels like a long time ago. Yeah. I enjoyed it when I read it. I look at the comments. Oh, where have we got? Oh, here we go. Heading off to bye bye. I'm having pod FOMO, as although I DNF'd. Want to meet Google? Yes, that was Alice's favourite character from the book, wasn't
Google is well worth reading pod for, almost.
I was listening to your review and I was trying to figure out if it was literally Google, like Google the search engine, and if that had any reference, or if you were just saying a different word. I like remember multiple times because you kept on talking about him and me being like,
Google the dolphin.
Yeah.
Here we go.
He's a military trained dolphin.
Oh,
he's a search dolphin.
Yes, of course. Just DNF trespassers seem very one-dimensional somehow. Lots of people have said that, and lots of people have a similar vibe. Like, do you know what? It's one of them things, isn't it? Either you kind of get on with it, and like, I think it's going to divide. It's a very divisive book, is Trespassers, I think.
Yeah.
it
Similarly,
was well written, but I never felt close to the characters. That's apparently my complaint about every single book is.
So I just loved Kushla so much. So I was like, it's so funny, isn't it? How everyone has such different experiences. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Zach, I wanted to start Misery May with Pod, but I think I'm going to swap it for The Deep by Alma Katsu. I've not heard of that one.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
I know there's The Deep by River Solomon, but I didn't know there was one by Alma Katsu. So you have to tell us about it. Let us know what you think of it, how you're getting on. We've got Janice. Hello.
Oh, it's Julie, isn't it?
Julie. Yes, Julie. Yeah. I'm glad you're here, Brian, because I know you love this, because I didn't get any reading done, but my gumbo turned out well. Well, yes, I'm glad that your gumbo turned out well.
What is gumbo?
Let us know.
It's a southern food, right? It would probably go well with Demon.
There you go. Yeah. Kushla is amazing. Yes, I love Kushla. We love Kushla.
Was she amazing?
Yes, I do. I love Kushla. And I love little Davy. Oh, little Davy.
Oh, Davy I liked. If the whole book had been about Davy, I would have liked it a lot more.
When he won the egg and spoon race, I was like,
Kushla and her mom, like that plot line, I really liked.
Yes.
Yeah,
I felt like everything, I don't know. I wanted more from the supporting characters.
Agree.
The problem is me. I was quoting Taylor Swift there.
Sorry?
She said, "Hi, it's me," and I'm like, "Hi, yeah, I'm the problem. It's me," which is a Taylor Swift.
Right. So yes.
Oh, Alice, did you do the scores on the doors?
I did, and it turns out I can't count, unfortunately. So actually, Kier got 10, but still very, very impressive.
10, nice.
So then you can update the leaderboard and then show us the leaderboard, and then talk us through all of the leaderboard. That's a good thing to do. You can do that. How is everyone else getting on with it? You said what you're reading. Let us know what you've been up to with the bank holiday. What are your bank holiday plans? Have you? You said there's no bank holiday for you in Canada, is there? You said, Kier.
Bank holiday. Is that what you said? Okay.
You say you don't have a bank holiday in Canada.
Actually, we might have one for the coronation, though. I haven't checked that. I know government workers will definitely, because we're a dominion of England, UK. So he's our king too. But
I hope for the holidays. I hope you get the holidays too.
yeah, I know a bunch of people who work in the government, and I know like they got off when the Queen died, but a lot of people didn't get the Queen off when you guys all did, right? So I don't know.
Interesting.
So Jem, do you want to read through the leaderboard?
So you're fifth, Kier. You're fifth. So we've got Jennifer at the top with 22, then Camilla on 19, Shelley on 17, then we've got Charlie and Scott on 12, Kier on 10. You beat Eric Carl Anderson, so
that's my claim to fame then.
Yeah. You only got 8. Sarah got 7, and then we've got poor old Fraser at the bottom with 5. I feel like Fraser didn't give it his all.
Yeah, he's read more books than all of us, so
maybe that's the problem. He's read so many, he's like, I don't know which ones were nominated for what prize.
Well, like I think that Margaret, I got stumped on which one of like Oryx and Crick and like McAdam, but I think both of them were, so I could have just said both of them, but I was stuck in my head about which Margaret had which books, and then I was just like stuck on that for 15 seconds.
You did really well, honestly. I feel like you kept the rhythm. Like I feel like you did have good rhythm. I feel like
yeah. I knew it was coming, which helps.
So Brian says it's a Cajun dish, kind of an okra-based stew that you can add shrimp to or chicken and sausage. Mine was meat free.
Ooh,
sounds delicious.
I did for a second think orca, and I was like, are they putting
no orca in this gumbo.
No.
Gumbo.
Yeah. I'm gonna say gumbo.
I've never had it, so
no.
KD drama is what we live for. We cannot wait to have you as our guest, can we? I think that's cool.
We are very excited,
and it's going to be very crazy, I'm sure. I was in A&E last night, so I'm feeling sorry for myself. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hope you're okay. It's not very nice. I hope I get well soon. Did you want to talk? Is it you want to head to another reading sprint, or do you want reading things? Do you want to cover favorites? Oh, have you got any things that you think could? Which out of the books do you think will potentially win the Women's Prize? There's a
probably Demon Copperhead, but my heart would be behind Black Butterflies. I would not be sad to see Trespasses win. Like I think harsher on it than some people, but like I read it and I enjoyed it, and like I said that like I really hoped that Louise Kennedy, because like she's like in her 50s and like hadn't wrote, and then like got cancer and stuff, and I thought that was beautiful, and I was like I would love to see where she goes first, because like I feel like as you write it's easier to like really dive into characters and stuff. So like I wouldn't be unhappy with her winning, but like I wanted her to like win for another novel that she writes in the future is kind of how I felt about her. So yeah, I feel like especially since I've now read a bit of Demon Copperhead, I don't think it's going to be my personal favorite, but
that's okay though. So like that's okay. That's good.
Yeah.
So you would say
on the list is Marriage Portrait, but I don't really want Maggie O'Farrell to win for it. So, but I really do like that book. So
it'd be interesting if it is someone that gets a double win. That would be quite cool. You guys, I know that you're going to tell me what the answer most likely is for this, but you can both say it anyway. Alice, you can say what is your favourite and what do you want to win the most? I'm guessing we all know the answer to this.
Demon and Demon. 100%. I like nothing I have read this year, even maybe even last year, compares to it. I just think it's such a feat of writing. I don't think anybody else on the list has done that. However, if somebody else was to win, I would personally prefer it to be a debut author, just because I think it's nice for a debut author to win, but I don't want a debut author to win over I think it would be unfair if Demon Copperhead was ruled out by the judges for like not being a debut author, like if that makes sense. I don't want them to go against it, because I think that the best book should win, and I think that although it's subjective, obviously, what is the best book is beyond comparison. So good. But saying that, like I think all three of the debuts, I haven't read Black Butterflies yet, so I'll actually say No, I haven't read 2 of them, but the debuts, I think all 3 I will likely want to know what the authors do next.
Yeah.
Definitely Fire Rush. Really, really keen to get to Jacqueline Crook's next book.
Yeah.
Would that be the same for you then, Jem? What's your thoughts on that then?
Yeah, completely agree. Demon Copperhead for the win. Love me some Kingsolver, but like you say, it's just a really, really good book. Definitely the best on the long list that I have read to date. And yeah, I think my favourite this year as well. I haven't read Black Butterflies yet, and I do think I'm really, really going to enjoy that as well. So, but it would have to really, really pull out some punches to beat Demon Copperhead. I think just based on page number alone, you know, when you're with a character for 550 pages or whatever it was, it's difficult for a 300-page book to then beat that. But same as Alice, I think if Demon doesn't win, I'd like to see it go to one of the debut authors.
I think it's such a strong shortlist. Actually, I actually genuinely like, because I genuinely like whatever my feelings about Pod, or whatever. I think it's such a strong shortlist. It's an interesting selection.
I think going back to what Kier said about Maggie O'Farrell, I obviously wouldn't be gutted to see her win because I think she's an amazing author. And The Marriage Portrait is definitely in second place for me at the moment of what I've read. Like, it's a really accomplished book, but I just don't think it is as good as Demon Copperhead. So for that reason, it's making me not want that to win. And I like...
And she's already won it once before.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's different between a 13-year difference and a 3-year difference. Like, she won for Hamnet so recently.
Yeah, I agree with you
Very
there,
recently.
actually. Yeah, I definitely think it would, like, if Kingsolver gets it, I feel like it's,
And Kingsolver's been longlisted for other books as well. It's not like the Lacuna was her only entry.
Yeah, Belcan
was on there as well. And I think another one by Kingsolver was longlisted, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So
she's only written one book between this and Lacuna, though, I think. I looked it up. She writes a book every, like, 5 years-ish.
Yeah.
I'll head to some comments quick. We've got
Can
Sarah.
I ask?
Hi, Sarah. Just joined.
Sarah.
We'll watch the first half when the kids are in bed. Yeah, of course. Don't worry about it. That's okay, Sarah. I wouldn't want DC to miss out on the Pulitzer as so torn as I doubt it can get both. But do you know what? I could presume. I don't think. I'm hoping it doesn't work like that. I hope it does get both prizes. We want it to get all the prizes. Like,
I do think that, like, it's a shoo-in for. Like, I'd be very surprised if it didn't win the Pulitzer. Like, it makes sense for that.
I think if it does win the Pulitzer, it does make you wonder whether that is going to affect its chances with the Women's Prize.
Yeah.
Well, and I think especially because Barbara Kingsolver is, like, because they're really concerned about canon and stuff, and she's 69 or 70, right? So, like, they're probably also thinking, because it is a prize, but it's also more of, like, a life, like, achievement and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, right? Like, they're going to want to reward her also for this book, but also for what she has done for America.
Her body of work, yeah.
It's interesting, though, isn't it, that it could affect. I can't say. Can it affect it? Oh, I don't know. For the Women's Prize.
I don't think the Women's Prize is as concerned. I think it would be less concerned if the Pulitzer was awarding it, because they're a little more greedy, I think, with wanting it to be special and all of those things.
It's a different kind of audience as well, isn't it? Surely.
Oh yeah, really.
It's like very pretentious and hoity-toity.
Yeah.
They're like, we shall not tell you anything, because, like, it's like the difference, right? Because the women's, and I love that with the Booker and the Giller and all of them, who want audience participation and stuff like that, when they're much more like closed door, and we want to be like the Fancy Academy and stuff like that. So yeah,
so interesting. Yeah. Good. Yeah,
like what the part of Demon for all of you that was like the part that like made you so happy, like in like an individual like scene or like character or something like that. Because I have read the book or the other book previously, so I don't know, because
I think it was just like, for me, it was like it was this like the sweeping nature of the whole book as an accumulation. Like, I love the characterization of Demon himself, but it's just, for me, it was like the first time I'd read her books. I haven't actually read any Kingsolver before, so I was just like blown away by like the writing, the detail that she puts in, the very, like, I know there is the nods obviously to David Copperfield, which, but I didn't mind that. They were like, I don't think they were overly done. I don't know about what you think, Alice, but I don't think they were, apart from obviously
I
the
personally
names.
loved it. Like every time there was a somebody else coming in, I was like, oh, who are they? Are they were they in David Copperfield? Like, I absolutely loved. I felt like I was getting like these little Dickensian surprises all the time. But I was saying this to my mum the other day. I think it's such an interesting achievement because it's both similar to David Copperfield and completely different.
It's vastly different.
And I just don't know how I'd love to talk to her about how did you do this? Like, you obviously decided to do this and on this concept. How did you then work out how to achieve it? Because some of the really big moments in the book, like big moments in David Copperfield that you wouldn't think would be able to work in Demon, in the different setting, they are there. And the way one of those was done, which I won't spoil for you, was just wonderful. Yeah, so good.
How about you?
Ask her, oh yeah, sorry.
So no, you go, Kier.
I was gonna say, I'd love to ask her like how many times she's read the book, because like because she's older, like I wonder if she like read it in school, and like when did, I'm assuming she would like read it for the first time and it's like, I'm gonna do a retelling of it. I feel like that would be cool, how much it's like lived in her head and stuff.
I'm so interested in how she did it.
Yeah.
Jem, how about you? Were there any favourite scenes or moments like what Kier was saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you say, that like the sweeping nature of it, you know how I love like a saga. So the fact that we got so much of his life, but I did really love like the whole section at the farm. So that's not a spoiler because it's quite broad. But if you know, you know. But the whole section when he was at the farm, and because I'm an agriculture geek, I found it really interesting, like about how they like hand harvest tobacco.
Yeah,
because that's the kind of person I am. I was like, oh, a crop that we have in the UK.
That is interesting. It is. I just think, like you said, there's just so many clever elements that she put in there, and I just like, even though Trespassers is my favourite, but like, in terms of writing, I do like in quality of writing and as in a mass of work, I do think Demon Copperhead is much more accomplished. Even though my heart is my heart is Trespassers, but I guess my head is saying probably Demon Copperhead. I don't know though. So
I think here's something that you might really like from what you've said about like character. Is I just think every single character in this is really, really well done. I know it's a first person perspective and we were all absolutely like loved Demon so much himself, but all of the different characters, you completely believe that they exist as real people. Like they are so like they're just so real to me, every person who was in it. And they really all inspired strong feelings in me, like either like really dislike that person, like, or they terrify me, what is going to happen with them, or like I absolutely want this person to succeed and love them.
And you see them all grow up as well through the narrative. You get to see all of these different characters grow. So like Maggot, who you might have met Kier, you might not, he's really early, he's like the first friend. You see like his character arc through it as well, and he's just
I was like, and maybe I will add, because like I'm so much at the beginning, we've jumped over to like they're seeing the Peggities and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, we've already jumped so far, and like we don't really have a grounding for him at all. So like maybe I think that's the part where like they just arrived at Peggity's family's house and stuff like that, and I feel like that part might win me over a little more and stuff. And like I'm excited to meet the equivalent of Uriah Heep because I feel like that's because I do think, and you like, I guess the end of David Copperfield is very satisfying in how everything comes together. So I'm looking forward to that. You guys have made me have fonder thoughts.
Cross fingers. Yeah. Camilla's here. Hi, Camilla.
Hi.
Apologies, having late dinner. and say hello to you and all the lovely Kier. Oh, she's so lovely. We love Camilla. She's
We
so
do,
lovely.
Camilla.
Yeah. So, do we want to head to another 20-minute reading plod? Never gonna not say it right. I'm just on Tuesday we're just calling it the Plodalong. So, and that is like, and I don't even have to worry then, so I can just say.
You need to resist.
No, we're gonna do it. Tuesday we're doing it. Tuesday
Fight
is
back
the
against the pod.
One and only.
Tuesday for one night only. It's the Plodalong. It will be.
And I bet you say plod every single time.
Yeah.
You do know me, Jem. You do know me. This is a thing. So, can you set the 20 minutes on there? I think it has to be.
I was going to say that I'm going to have to leave, but
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We'll say goodbye to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I really had a great time.
You.
It's been so nice having you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Yes, or Sunday.
Yeah, it's like 2 o'clock here, so I was like, I didn't know how long I like have plans at 2, but yeah, it's great to see you guys.
I hope we've sold Demon to you properly now.
Yeah, I feel encouraged, and I can to look toward things because I feel like everyone just talks about it in such like vague terms that it's like, okay, but what am I like looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're so grateful that you came along and chatted to us. It's been so much fun having you here with us and hearing all your thoughts. So,
Thank you so much.
I hope that you can get hold of some of the other books. I'm hoping some of the ones become available soon.
Yeah.
And that you get on really well with Demon Copperhead. So yeah, cross fingers.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Kier.
Bye. Oh, bless. We love Kier. She's so lovely. Before we head to the next pod, I think there's a little one comment before we go and do a reading.
I'll just reset the timer while you're doing that.
Yeah, that's good. I was very impressed by how a 68-year-old woman author was able to create a very Yes, this is something we've said
Agree.
Yeah, it was, totally. Very, very good writing. So yeah, and I can't wait to go to her backlist now. This is the thing that I'm thinking with King's Up. I'm like, because you had been going on and telling us how brilliant, how much you loved. Was it the Poison Bible? It was like your favorite book. Was it your actual favorite book last year in the end, or was it no? There was another one.
Lonesome Dove just loved it.
But I mean, to still get space number 2, that's so.
Yeah. To be fair, have you read Lonesome Dove?
No.
It's like incredible. So
I want to read that too.
Yeah. I just added all the big chunky books.
Stop making us read doorstops.
I've still got Suitable Boy on my shelves to read this year. I don't know if I'm going to try and read it.
By the way, this did turn out to only have 550 pages. But there was some notes.
My translation has more words in.
There's some notes taking it up to 564.
I hate it when you get classics. I'd rather, what you were saying about the marriage portrait, I'd rather have a bigger book and bigger writing than like a smaller book and tiny writing.
Me too.
So you've got the timer there. So you're just going to carry on with the same books, or are you heading to a new book, Alice?
I know I should read Trespasses, but I have still got a little bit of this left, so go into that and then I'll start Trespasses.
Holiday. Treat yourself. And you're going to carry on reading your one? Are you going to carry on reading?
Yeah, I'm going to carry on with Memphis, yeah.
And I will carry on reading Mame.
Oh, you didn't actually tell us, was it good, the start of Mame?
Because obviously I was very distracted a little bit, no, it is really good. So I didn't realise her father's got Parkinson's. It's announced obviously very early on. So yeah, it's sort of initially it's her relationship with her father, and it's very wrapped at this very minute. But yeah, which I didn't realise. But yeah, it's good. I like the writing style. The writing style is good, and it's kind of got multimedia in it. It's got like messages and.
Okay.
Can you see?
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And also, I didn't realise my copy is. I'll show you. Signed.
Cool.
Special.
Have I
Did
shown
you
you
get
the
indoor books?
Oh, nice.
I like
I can't remember. Did you get it in Dawn or Waterstone?
No, Daunt. Yeah. That's why it's the independent bookshop edition. Oh.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. I'm excited to head back to this. This will be my bank holiday reading completely. So I'll add this to the stream, and then we'll chat to you guys and see how you guys are getting on with your reading in a minute. So not in a minute, 20 minutes.
Happy reading.
Happy reading.
Hello. We're back.
Ooh.
How did you guys get on?
Yeah,
Still-
it got a bit
still
dark.
reading.
So Jem, what did you? So you said it got a bit dark. Go on, you can say.
Yeah, no, I was just talking about like life in the army and war and stuff, and it was just
Harsh.
It was dark.
It's very dark book. It's very dark book in places, well, in quite a lot of places.
Yeah, you can understand
Alice
why
had-
so many soldiers have PTSD.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Alice, how about you?
I'm still reading this. It's like taking me ages. It's because it's stopped being a graphic novel and it's all like I've had loads more pages of like dense text.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, I'm nearly done, I think.
I love that you're dedicated to reading all that little stuff, because that stuff is the kind of stuff I'd skim over.
Yeah.
It's not really skimming over stuff. I feel like I'm learning quite a bit. Like there was a interesting page about what was it about? About Ireland and like the Irish population in London, in Victorian London, and like the prejudice and racism against them and the potato famine. Oh, it was all very interesting.
Oh, that's
And
good.
so the factual stuff is quite cool, but there's also like stuff intermingled with it about the characters in the book. Oh, and there was a really cool section about Sherlock Holmes's different adventures, which was pretty cool.
I love Sherlock. I've got obviously I sent a picture to you guys on the chat, and that's one of the books. Even though I have read in that particular stack, that's the one I have dipped in and out of. So yeah, I sent a book stack to the girls of the books that I've had on my shelves the longest, and Sherlock Holmes, like the classic cloth-bound classics on there. I have dipped in and out of those stories. But yeah, I love Sherlock. Sherlock's like, I love I love all the TV show adaptations and adaptations and things. So yeah. Yeah,
I think Sherlock Holmes is one of the few things where I actually really like some of the TV adaptations.
Did you like the Benedict Cumberbatch?
I love the Benedict Cumberbatch version, yeah. Just thought it was such a good way of like updating it but still having like the essentials there. And I love the way it sort of threw back to it, like they had things like A Study in Pink instead of A Study in Scarlet, didn't they? And it was just like, I loved it. I thought it was really respectful to the original while being completely different. So
Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat are massive, huge fans of the books. You can tell. Have you seen that, Jem?
Yeah. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is just a fantastic actor. He did a brilliant job.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, like you say, like keeping the essence of Sherlock Holmes, but making it his own. It's like that's a difficult line to walk for a classic like that, and I think he did a really, really good job.
And he always
this is the point where I really, really like an adaptation, is where it like takes the essence and can build on it or make it different or better. I think if you keep that essence intact, you've made a really good adaptation.
Yeah, he definitely brought something fresh to the role. I definitely think that.
I loved all the Mind Palace stuff as well. It was all like so well
the
done.
visualization of that is just like that is so clever. And let us know in the comments. I'm going to highlight some of your comments anyway, but let us know in the comments what you're reading, how you've been getting on reading. Let us know about your plans for the bank holiday, if you've got a bank holiday, if you're in the UK, all that stuff. Oh, that's a natter. Jem, I've read Crime and Punishment. My advice is to watch out for the horse scene. And the pace picks up at the 50% mark. There you go. There's some advice. Thank you.
Yeah, I've had the horse scene.
Have we had the horse scene? Was that what happened to Marmalade?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's that one.
Yeah.
And
we know he's not really called Marmalade, but that is what we call him.
Yeah, because we can't pronounce Russian names. Because we were buddy reading it with Sandy and she's finished it, and I think she said part 3 and part 4 were a little slower, and then it really picked up again towards part 5 and part 6. So I don't know, I'm like halfway through part 3.
Is this a classic you're enjoying? Is this one you're enjoying?
I don't dislike it, I'm just not in the mood for a classic. Do you know what I mean? You kind of have to be in the mood for waffle, and I'm just not in the mood for waffle. So And I think also the fact that like every name is like two names.
Mm.
So I can't even think like Alexander Petrovich or whatever it may be, but every time that name's mentioned is both parts. And because of the way I read, I have to read the full name every time. And because it's Russian, it takes me longer to like. So it just takes me so long to get through it.
And they all have like nicknames as well, don't they? So there's like
Yeah.
about 3 different names that each person is called by.
Yeah.
And there's also multiple characters with like the same initial, and I get confused about who's who.
Yeah. And even if they're from the same family, they don't have the same family name.
Oh.
Honestly, this sounds way above my pay grade. This is like,
Well,
Yeah.
I liked part 1 and part 2, but like I think this is sort of book that I could have finished it with Sandy if I hadn't have had COVID, and that sounds like a terrible excuse. But I just didn't have the brain power for something that difficult. Like I had the brain power for graphic novels, and I had the brain power for like a picture book. And then I built up to actual books. But then I feel really bad because I've read like 20 books this month and I haven't read Crime and Punishment.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a very specific type of book. And if what if Jem's saying like with the names and like that's a lot of thinking.
My brain needs to be at a certain capacity to be able to take that. And it just wasn't. So
honestly, just be gentle on yourself. That's the best thing. Anne is reading Fugitive Pieces by Anne Michaels. The sentence structure is beautiful. Oh, I've heard of. Was that a women's prize? No, that's no. Am I thinking something else? I'm thinking of another book.
Women's Prize, was it not?
I've never heard of it.
I'm sure I've heard the term fugitive something.
I'm googling it on the list.
Yeah.
The big list.
Until that point, I'll read Zach's thing. Zach said, "I'm 52% into The Fire Dance. It's a fairly standard mystery thriller, but there's interesting cultural differences because it's Swedish." Oh, okay. You like a translated book, don't you, Jem?
I do like a translated book.
It won in 1997.
There you go. I did think.
Okay. Nice.
It's a Women's Prize winner.
Yeah. That's right. This is what we're doing now. And is listening to the Bandit Queens. Are you enjoying it, and what are your thoughts on it? Let us know. And said, Crime and Punishment needs full concentration. Do not read if it is not the right time. That's good advice for all books, I think.
Now, the next comment, before you put it up, I should just explain. This is the first ever comment we've ever had from my mum, although she does watch the Plodalong.
Is this your mum? Oh my god! We're gonna fangirl now.
But twanging is like her version of DNFing. That's what she's called DNFing for years. She's like, twang it into a tree.
Oh, I love that.
I love it. I feel like we need to like take on that.
She has given me no encouragement to read Crime and Punishment. She's told me to like throw it away at every turn.
Has your mum tried to read it before?
No. Actually, no, I tell a lie. She might have told me she read like quite a lot of the Russian stuff when she was really young, and she now would have no capacity to read it.
Yeah. Jane/Alice's mum. This is what. Let us know, what are you currently reading? I'm not sure Alice knows the answer to this, but we want to hear it from you, Jane. What are you reading? And are you enjoying it? Or are you going to twang it?
Did your mum read that random cat book from the library, Alice?
Well, yeah, because she said...
she's put that to the bottom of her pile after starting it.
She's twanged it, has she?
Well, she claims not, because I went to the effort to go and get it for her, but I have told her she's welcome to twang it.
I love that.
Just finished Permafrost by Eva Balthazar. Oh, is that the author of I'm sure Eva Balthazar, is that the author of the one that's listed on the boulder, or am I being incorrect?
Incorrect? It could be actually.
Oh, I think it is. Yeah.
I'm gonna Google. You're quicker at googling than me, Alice. So. Yeah, it's the same author. Oh my gosh, see, I can actually remember something.
I'm very impressed because I hadn't remembered that until you said it.
My brain actually do stuff. There you go. Yeah, it's boulder. Yes,
sausage.
I am actually impressed with myself, and I consider. Oh, no. Boulder. Yeah. Thank you. Dorito.
Also, just a complete random tangent, but Dorothy, if that is your dog in your picture,
Gorgeous.
what a beaut.
I'll highlight Doritos.
Yeah, that's got to be a
That is a
husky
gorgeous
cross,
dog.
right? Is it a husky cross?
Tell us about your dog. Please tell us about your
Pretty.
dog.
So
Beautiful.
pretty.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I saw a Jack Russell Corgi cross in the park today, and it was super cute.
That does
thought.
sound cute.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it was like a soft Jack Russell.
Oh, how are both your animals? How are they all? How's Harry? How's Rudy? How are the pets?
Harry is really sneezy, so if you hear like loud sneezing in the background, that's him.
Has he got hay fever?
He's not his best right now. I don't know what's up. He goes through phases.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure he's fine. He's a lot perkier today. So,
Yeah. Well, we've got a new like fountain thing in the garden, like a water feature thing. And Rudy keeps sticking his schnozzle in it. So we call Rudy's nose his schnozzles. So then Charlie was trying to get the water out of the fountain thing with a trowel, obviously, because that's what kids do.
as you do.
And I could just hear him shouting, "Mummy, tell Rudy to get his schnozzle out of the fountain." And I was like, oh my God, my neighbours must absolutely hate us. That's what they have to deal with.
Oh, bless them so much. So we found out she was gorgeous, passing out. Oh, bless English Shepherd.
Oh, Shepherd, she does look beautiful.
English Shepherds are gorgeous.
Yes.
We're gonna wrap up and finish in a minute. You've got to get out of here, please. I've got my daughter coming in. I'm sorry.
Bye
Hello.
That's what happened. Hello again. I didn't know that it had won the women's prize. I'm in love with this novel. Which one are you saying about? Sorry, I'm being stupid.
Is that the
was
Fugitive Pieces or Fugitive?
Fugitive Pieces, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so you've read it before? Are you saying that you've read it before? And you loved it? Were you reading it?
I think she's saying she's loving it while she's reading it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's how I read it.
Yeah, well, that's exciting.
Ooh. Another one to add to the list then, Anne. Cheers. Not like we've got enough to read.
We're always adding piles to our endless TBRs.
Oh, always. Did you see what was her name? Elizabeth at Both Hands and Books did like a miserable books recommendation
I
video.
haven't watched it yet. I've got that on my to watch list.
Every single one of them sounds amazing, and I hadn't heard of any of them. So
Subscribe to this person. Tell me, how am I subscribed to this person? Tell me who they are again.
Both Hands and Books, Elizabeth. Is she Canadian, French Canadian?
Yeah,
Both Hands and Books.
Both Hands and Books. I shared the video on my community tab, so if
In
you
that
just
case, I don't think so. I'll look
you'll find it there.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, I now want to read the book that someone mentioned in the chat earlier called The Deep by Alma Katsu, because it turns out it's about something haunting the Titanic. And I'm oh yes, please.
I don't know whether I'm kind of over those kind of books. Like, I don't know.
Oh, they're good, like as a palate cleanser.
Did you hear though about? So did you hear? Because obviously Scott said about on his channel about the new. Oh, what was it? The new one by one of the Women's Prize long-listed authors. Oh, look. She was one that Unsettled Ground. Claire Fuller. The new Claire Fuller is out.
Oh yeah.
No, I knew she had a new one coming out.
And it's The Memory of Animals. I googled it, but the thing is, though, I'm like, even though I love Claire Fuller's writing, do you know what the premise is? So I'll tell you guys.
Oh, I want to read it so much.
Okay, but have you seen what the premise is, Alice?
I did, because it was one of the books I researched extensively when I thought it was eligible for the Women's Prize, and then it turned out it was coming out a bit too late.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay, see, this is where you're so good, because this is where you've done all the research. It's about I think it's like a dystopian, isn't it?
Oh,
Neffy is a young woman. Neffy is a young woman running away from grief and guilt, and there's one big mistake that has derailed her career when a debilitating new virus sweeps across the globe. Volunteering in a vaccine trial offers her a way to make up from her past, but then the virus mutates, and the future she has dreamed of for herself is all gone.
I feel like Jem was sitting there like ticking off my buzzwords there on the list.
For
like,
me, I'm
this
like,
is an Alice book.
yeah. So, but for me, I'm like virus mutating, possible dystopian. For you, yes.
For some reason, I love dystopian books and I find them incredibly comforting. I think it's because like dystopia is like worse than real life. So I'm like, yeah, real life is lovely. But I don't think that's what dystopian novels are supposed to make you feel.
It's good though because you can read it and tell us what you think. You can be the first one to read it.
I'm just a weirdo.
No, you're not.
No, I do love a dystopian. Have you pre-ordered Chain Gang All Stars? Comes out on Tuesday. It's like a Hunger Games meets Handmaid's Tale to do with like prison and capitalism.
I want this.
Right, I've pre-ordered the audio. It comes out on Tuesday.
I'm intrigued by the capitalism thing. There's some. So you did say a couple of buzzwords for me, but
space been winked for the booker.
I think I did actually. I must have heard about it because I'm sure I read something that said Hunger Games meets The Handmaid's Tale, and I was like, yes, I'm there.
It's been everywhere. It's been everywhere.
Awesome.
Wait, what did you say the name of it is again?
Chain Gang All Stars.
So this could be on the book. There you go.
I'm finding that I will even add things to my like imagined TBR from like Instagram stories now. I think it must have been Olivia's Catastrophe. I saw on her story today a book called this is a graphic novel called The Gigantic Beard That Was Evil, and I was I want to read this.
Got this on my shelves.
It's about a gigantic evil beard that takes someone over.
It's amazing.
To read that
face, you're like, why do you care?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Have you read it?
Yes, of course. I've got it for years.
Yeah, I want to read this so much.
This is I got it for Richard, my husband, because obviously he's got a big beard. So anyway, Zach has said, if the Plodalong is on Tuesday, I will probably buy the Kindle version. Hashtag join the pod. These are good hashtags for Tuesday one. Hashtag pod squad. And
pod squad.
I like that. This is really, really good. I mean, that is a really strong hashtag. We have to try and remember. I'm going to write that down actually.
Pod squad.
I'm going to write these hashtags down.
I feel like we need t-shirts.
Yes.
Little fun fact. Alice maybe wants to tell us her fun fact from the week. What happened to you, Alice? Claim to fame.
No, I don't want to tell that. I do not.
Oh yeah, Alice.
No, I don't want to tell this.
Oh, tell them.
Who's your new Insta BFF?
I don't want to say.
I think you should.
No, so because it's not even a review that I'd done of pod. I'd commented on somebody else's pod review saying I loved I think I'd written something like the best thing about this book is Google. I love that character, something like that.
Yeah. And this is a reply to someone
from Raylene Paul, and she's now following me. And then I realised that on my what's it called, profile or whatever, I have like little highlights of stories, and I've been putting my review, like little mini reviews that I put on my stories. I've been collecting them this year, and the April one, which I only updated today, had pod as like the cover because it was the first book I finished this month. So I was like, oh, I hope she didn't click on that and read the 2.5 star review.
If she's still following you, she must have read it. She probably doesn't mind.
I expect she didn't read it. I hope she didn't read it. I feel a bit embarrassed.
Where are we? We've got Anna. Your mum is. Did I really click on this? I would highly recommend it. I'm reading the library copy, but I want a copy so I can annotate it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Fugitive Pieces.
Fugitive Pieces, yeah.
Now I really, really want to read it.
Yeah.
And predictably,
I've got some women's price stuff over there in the corner. I think I've got Property by Valerie Martin on my shelf over there. Which is
predictably, Angie's next comment is, "I need to read that." Ange is the only person besides Gemma, who I think has the Gemma amount of FOMO.
Oh, for the all of the
Like has to read everything in the entire world.
But I love that.
Someone commented on my TBR this week, and they said, "Oh, well, what I do for readathons is I only use it for books that I really want to read." And I said, "Yeah, well, that's fine, but my problem is I want to read everything."
You do genuinely. It's like this is, your TBRs are genuinely what you want to get to. 100%.
And I will get to them. I might not get to them this month, but
I'm still waiting for a truly miserable recommendation.
Oh, there's loads.
There's 2 videos. Have you seen? Yeah, we've got
So many miserable books.
Yeah, we've got a couple of collaboration videos with like book choose the most miserable books.
There's going to be a lot of misery in May. Yes. I liked Fugitive Pieces. That's good to hear, Kate. Kate, what did you? Oh, your mum's talking to Kate. Did you find some sentences beautiful? Yeah. Another book I need to read. Yes, we all want to read that. So that's another one. Add Fugitive Pieces.
Just add them all, Ange. Add them all. It's fine. You've got your new spreadsheet now, so good to go.
We give it 3 more minutes and then we'll wrap it up and say goodbye. So we finish at 1:45. Yeah. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I need to put the kids to bed.
I want to have some more time with my husband because it's bank holiday, and probably going to watch some more. We're watching, which is really, I know it's really bad. We're watching the Midsummer Murders series. I think I messaged you, Alice, about that because I was trying to get some recommendations and we were being impatient because we just I like you have given me some other ones for backup.
Most dangerous place to live in the UK, Midsummer. Do not go and live there, you will get murdered. Luckily it's not a real place.
Oh, we've got some more comments I missed, sorry. Yeah.
Pod squid.
Love that.
So beautiful, yeah.
Oh, director needs
more misery. Well, Brian at Bookish did a video on miserable books.
Yes. But his books were miserable, but they had a little bit of hope, like a little
some
bit.
Some of them. And also, Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl had done a miserable books video.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
So there's a few out there. But basically, if you just look at like anything that me and Scott read ever.
Yeah.
You said the worst one. I'm sure you said S was really bad, didn't you? That's like
S. Yeah, Alice is going to read that. I'm so excited.
I'm so traumatized. I haven't even started
it. Try and head if you can cope with the trauma of it. I think S is a really. Who did you say it's by? Who was the author?
Slavenka Drakulic.
There you go. So, The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum is the most miserable book I've ever read.
Nice.
Good luck.
Dorota says no hope, please.
I need books with hope
in my books, otherwise I don't like it.
I'm the same as you, Alice. I can't cope. Like I need, like even if it's just like that much hope, I need some hope.
Yeah, that little glimmer.
Red
S liked it.
Very good, very good.
Do you know what? Actually, you can come back and tell us. So I know we're going to be still because we're still going to be having a whole. I think we've got more than a month of Plodalongs left, so you can come and tell us and give us some recommendations, can't you?
Yeah,
that would be amazing. So, what are you guys up to for the rest of the bank holiday? And then we'll say goodbye.
It's gone really dark in my room.
You're nearly blacked out, Alice.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
We're just saying goodbye now, Belle.
Okay. But yeah, no, nothing exciting planned for me. I think we're gonna have a baking day tomorrow.
Ooh, what are you baking?
I don't know, whatever I happen to have in the cupboard. Just probably some cakes and some cookies, I reckon.
Oh, that sounds nice. How about you, Alice? What are you up to tomorrow? Anything nice?
We might go for a little day out, but we've not really decided where yet. We'll see how we feel when we wake up. But Jim has been out at golf this afternoon, so I'm anticipating he will have completely seized up by morning.
I hope he's okay.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Thank you guys for coming. We're so grateful to have you to all chat to every time. I'll make sure I put hang on a second before I go. Actually, I'll put the banner up for our next plod. Oh my god, if I can actually get the freaking banners up. No, that was not what it was. That was not. Okay, here we go.
For the pod squad.
There we go. Here we go. Get there eventually. I just honestly. So our next guest, as you would have heard probably earlier, is the lovely Kieran from KD Books. So it'll be 8 p.m. on Tuesday night on my channel. So yes, we're excited to have you to talk about.
Join the pod squad and come and join us.
Yeah, it's going to be for one night only. Sorry?
Yeah, the pod squad.
Pod squad, yeah. That is a thing. Update my new spreadsheet with everything I want to read down. Exactly. So yeah. I'll put Ange's comment on. Yeah, exactly. This will be what it will be.
Keep you busy for a couple of days, Ange.
So yeah, we'll be super excited to have you guys. It's probably gonna be a bit mad on Tuesday with Kieran with us. So we don't know exactly where it will go, what we'll be talking about. It will be the official Plodalong for one night only. Oh. Yeah, thank you guys. Bye Elizabeth, bye Dorita.
Thanks everyone.
Bye.